President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has transmitted the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Alteration, State Police Bill 2026, to the House of Representatives, seeking constitutional approval for the establishment of state police services across the country. Now, in a letter read on the floor of the House on Tuesday, Tinubu said the proposed legislation seek to amend the 1999 Constitution to provide the legal framework for the creation of state police as part of effort to strengthen Nigerian security architecture. Now, the president said the bill builds on previous legislative work by the House and introduces additional safeguards to ensure the effective operation of a dual policing system involving both the federal and state governments. Now, according to Tinubu, the proposed framework is aimed at addressing Nigerians' evolving security challenges through a more responsive and efficient policing structure. Now, describing the bill as a key component of his administration's security reform agenda, the president urged lawmakers to expedite its consideration and passage. The latest move comes barely 2 weeks after the Senate passed a similar constitutional amendment bill seeking the establishment of state police across the Federation. The Senate approved the proposal after it secured the support of more than 2/3 of lawmakers, meeting the constitutional requirement for amending the 1999 Constitution if passed by the House of Representatives and subsequently endorsed by the required number of State House of Assembly. Now, the bill will pave the way for the establishment of state police services as part of efforts to tackle growing insecurity across the country. But the fundamental question is, will this truly help in dealing with the situation on the ground? And in all honesty, what needs to be done to end this reign of terror? Well, these and more will take center stage on the show today, and that is state police dealing with the final framework, especially with the transmission of that very bill to the House of Representatives. That's what we're having as a major look. We're looking at the state police and dealing with the final framework, as every indication is indicating that definitely it looks as if it will be very well passed soon, after 2/3 of the different State House of Assembly would finally put it paper to pen, and President assenting to it. Well, anyway, that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. And who better to help us look at these, rather not just only a political scientist, but also someone with a civil society organization, and one that feels policing should be more than just having men on ground with boots on the ground, but having to deal with a larger situation that always leads to crime. But anyway, there will be no crime in us introducing him. I'm talking of no other person but Honorable Austin Uwuseba JP. Good day and welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning.
Yes, finally, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent that to the House of Representatives for more like helping to change that part of the Constitution that is more like a wage in the formation of the state police bill. And with what we've learned, it looks as if the House of Representatives are ready to harmonize theirs with this very proposed one President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sending to them. Now, legal framework is what we're waiting for before we finally get the state police bill into being, and having 2/3 of the different State House of Assembly also endorsing it. Now, would the state police bill, or would the state police itself, help change the narrative? That's my first question. Would it help better secure Nigerians? Would it help act differently from the federal police we have? And will in any way, would it help deal with the issue of growing insecurity that have bedeviled us for more than 2 decades?
Michael, the state police bill that the president has sent to the National Assembly,
yes,
it has been on. This is a conversation that has been on since. It's not a new conversation. The 2024 National Confab,
yes,
it was one of their major agenda that they raised.
Okay.
So saying that it will help, it will help.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a good move because they have been clamoring for it.
Okay.
Nigerians have been clamoring for state policing that will better our local intelligence in combating crime
and criminality.
So it's a good thing.
Now let's look at it, because the legal framework is more like a binding force to make it more effective and deal with issues of legal battles when it finally arises on account of its creation. Now, but the news we were having conflicting reports. It looks as if there's a way trying to harmonize both. The House of Representatives own is looking quite different from that of the Senate, and they are trying to see how they can streamline and make it more effective. But the bottleneck on the discussion is the issue of total governance control over this bill. Many persons are scared that if you put the state police, it will become a political tool in the hands of some of these governors. Hence, the reverse edition the Senate is trying to bring is trying to deal with that by putting it under the total control of not just the governor itself, but having a commission that will help to deal with these fears being expected by Nigerians. Do you see the fear of state police being a political tool in the hands of governors as a reason for us to be also in every way jittery about this bill?
No, there should be no reason for us to be jittery, Mike. The primary duty of government,
yes,
is to provide security for lives and property.
Properties, yeah.
So, state police, the clamor for state police has been on because of the crime in our society, increase in criminality, banditry, kidnapping, name it. It's been on and on. So there's a clamor for more policing, being that the federal police system is not sufficient enough. That's why there's the cry for state police. And there's a school of thought that will say governors will hijack it for use it as a political tool. Fine. But you see, one of the things that I want Nigerians to understand that power resides with the people. Okay. So if Governor A tend to use it as a political tool, vote this to vote the man out. You understand?
Yeah.
Vote him out. Again, all humans don't operate the same. Mind you.
Yes.
So all governors cannot operate the same. And the governors, they have a 8 years tenure.
But is the fear germane? The reason I'm asking you if the fear is germane, if you look at the just concluded Edo State local government election,
we are humans.
18 local government was won by the ruling party, and 192 councillorship all was taken all by the ruling party in the state. So there's this fear that will now be transmitted into the issue of security.
Mike, we are humans. There's a tendency to always violate laws. That's why there are laws. There's a tendency to violate laws. That's why there are laws. And you see, I like the conversation. Let's keep up this conversation. Keep talking about it. Keep raising the bar. You see, when we enact laws,
yes,
they are subject to reviews, subject to amendments.
Okay.
If, as we are putting it in practice, at a particular time we find out that for so and so reasons,
it has been abused
or whatever,
manipulated,
then the conversation will come up. Then there will be an amendment. So, laws are enacted, laws are amended to suit the situation of the time.
So let's not be scared. Let's go ahead.
Basically, it's for protection of life and property, which is the constitutional role of government. So, let's be positive-minded.
So these will not make governors demigods, having now power, because they control the financial wealth of some of the states, they have this demigod look.
See, I've always been of the opinion and canvassing for participation by citizens. We must participate. We must be involved in how we are governed. We must participate. We must be involved. There's no sit back about this business. You see, because of the increase in criminality, this call I've been on since
24, even
24,
2014,
before 2014,
even before
and the national confab, they discussed. It was one of the issues that was discussed, but there was no political will then, to take it to the National Assembly and pass into law or for the constitutional amendment. The political will was not there, but still, our society were plagued with different form of crime, and even criminals have increased their technology. You understand? They have a lot of modern weapons and all that. So there's a reason, there's a need for state police to support the federal police. You know, again, Mike, there are benefits. It will create jobs.
Okay.
It will help for local intelligence, like I said before, gathering of informations.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, again, state police means the people from a particular state will be engaged to police their own environment where they know better.
Okay.
There will be oversight over the Police Service Commission who oversee the state police. So the issue of governors hijacking it, use it as a political, let's put that aside. Let's look at the positive angle of it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, anyway, in case you're joining us, it's indeed Dialogue, and today we're looking at the final legal framework as it concerns the proposed state police bill, and knowing that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has finally sent it to the House of Representatives for a total look and amendment of that section that seems to be the stumbling block of the creation of state police. And we're looking at it itself as we look at indeed having to deal with the issue of insecurity, and how state police are coming into being will definitely help to indeed increase our chances of having more peace and sleep at night with both of our eyes closed, if finally being to be. But that's what we're having as a major discourse as we look at that, and we're looking at it on a wider scale. And I see I have no other person but Honorable Austin Uwuseba joining us, JP, joining us on this awesome discussion. But let me come to you now, because in all honesty, with the rate this very administration is going, there's every tendency that the state police bill will coming to be in the next 2 months' time, and that will be before the general elections. And do you see this happening anytime soon before the general election itself?
Yeah. You know, this is a clamor that has been on.
Okay.
And if you say we need it, we need it now, Mike. So if the National Assembly can hasten the passage of this bill, it will be of benefit to Nigerians. You understand? Elections will always come and go. Whether 2027, 2031, elections will come and go. But governance remain. We must continue to ensure that Nigerians are adequately protected.
Okay.
You understand? They are safe in their homes. They are safe on the highway. They are safe in their local environment. So a quick passage of the bill will be a plus for the administration. Okay.
Now, I would rather want us to look at what Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the NDC, said on the creation of state police coming into being before the election. He has his own fears as it concerns the state police bill. It's not like he's not happy with it, but he feels that it should be delayed till after the general election comes 2027. And please, I don't want to take him out of context. I rather want for us to look at what he said, with him saying it himself. Now, this is what he said. I'm talking about no other person but Peter Obi. Now, he said, according to him, going by what Nigerians have seen so far, there is no guarantee that this administration can resist the temptation to take advantage of the state policing to influence the 2027 general election by proxy. Now, in view of that possibility and the danger it poses to the polity, it is necessary to deter its implementation until after the general election. That's what Peter Obi said. And he said this on the 26th day of last month. We followed him and we saw all he said. Now, Are his fears germane? And do you feel there should be a delay of this very bill till after the general elections?
Mike, Peter Obi is a Nigerian. He has his opinion.
Okay.
You understand? What we're saying is the security of lives and properties. I'm not saying election. Why delay it till after elections?
So it doesn't look as being a tool in the hands of governors. You do know that almost 32 state governors are under the umbrella of the APC.
Mike, Jesus had 12 disciples. There was a Judas. There will always be a Judas. There will always be those that will violate laws. It is not to say that we should leave Nigeria unsecure. Let's secure our place. Let's pass it into law. Let's start trying the implementation. It must start from somewhere, Mike. Whether you delay it till after the election, won't there be an election in 2031?
There will be.
There are some states that do midterms elections.
Off-season elections.
Off-season elections. So elections will always come and go. But what I say, the argument for state police is that Nigeria is unsafe. We need to secure our place, our climb. We need the state police to partner with the federal police. And we're also conversing. Look, Mike, you know, it's like the local vigilante that we have.
Yeah.
You understand? To secure our place, gather raw intelligence from the neighborhood. You understand what I'm saying? So Obi's argument, germane or not, is his opinion. What we're saying as Nigerians is that we want state police.
Do you feel they are over-politicizing the issue of the creation of state police? We're talking about the political class.
Mike, you see, when issues come up like this, there must be a different school of thoughts. You understand? We have those that will be for, like Obi is saying, let's do it after the general elections. There's a school of thought that say, no, let's do it now. Let's put it in place. And I'm of the opinion that, Mike, if we find faults, if there are gaps that needs to be filled up, you know, we're not called for amendments. Mind you, one of the issues I would not say is that maybe to some extent there should be inputs from civil society organizations. Yeah. They be input for Nigerians. Yeah. They be from the traders union, manufacturers union of Nigeria. Let's have a robust conversation around it. You understand? Let's, you know, so when the conversation, we listen to Nigerians' opinions, like we are saying, I'm saying, come, gentlemen, let us include our neighbor to neighbor watch, the local vigilante thing, into this state police thing. Let the local vigilante be enshrined in our laws so that it will complement the state police.
Okay, now still talking about that, because we want undermining, we're looking at the legal framework.
Yeah.
We're looking at some of those issues that might arise on account of the giving those that are already in the federal police now that passage into being under the state police without their ranks being removed.
Yeah.
That is what is also embedded in this new framework of state police that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent to the House of Representatives. Now, Nigerians are scared of that. The reason they are scared of that is that they feel some of the rot embedded in the federal police will be transferred to that of the state police. And that is the fear. They feel there will be no different, but just a change of nomenclature and name. So do you feel that it's in order we have them? Because the reason they are saying that is that those in the federal police will bring their might of experience into being in the creation of the state police. So it's only them switching from federal to state, but still retaining that experience they have, which Nigerians are scared of. Experience of the extortion, experience of police is your friend, but bail is not free, experience of a whole lot. Yeah. So that's the fears Nigerians are expressing. So I want your candid opinion.
Mike, the fears will always be there. These are Nigerians. But where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to point out is that, look, reforms are always ongoing.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
When we see that this is not working properly for us, we go back to our drawing board. Gentlemen, let us review the law. Let us see how we can implement. Let us see how we can make it better for us. Like I've been saying, we cannot be copying a foreign system.
Okay.
We should always implement laws that will befit our own kind of environment, our nature, our culture.
Yes.
You understand? Mind you, state police has been ongoing in certain countries, United States, Canada, Germany.
They even have up to even county police.
They have
that
county
what
police.
they mean as the local police. Yeah.
You have people that will always violate, they always abuse the laws. That's why there are laws. You understand? Now, we must ensure that we have punitive measures put in place for violators of such laws.
Yeah. No, please go ahead.
Okay. So for violators of such laws, so reforms will be continual. Okay. You understand? It's not a one-off thing. So good or bad, it has come to stay.
Okay, what will come to be now is for us to go on a break. You do know we need to pay some commercials. And when we come back, we'll still be talking about the state police bill and the framework, dealing with the final framework, especially with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sending that to the House of Representatives just only recently. And you see, there's more like it's coming into being before the general elections, undermining some persons feel different about having the state police coming into being before the general elections. But whatever views or fears they seem to express, Nigerians have every need to talk about it. Hence, we're having it on Dialogue. Let's go on a break.
Atlantic TV.
Every year, millions of lives are stolen, dreams cut short, futures traded in silence. Human trafficking is a modern-day slavery. It hides in plain sight, tearing families apart and trapping the vulnerable in fear. But together we can end it. Together we can protect, we can rescue, and we can give hope. Say no to exploitation. Say no to slavery. Say no to human trafficking. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, we'll need to welcome you back after that very short commercial break. Yes, it is still dialogue right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And today we're looking at the state police, especially dealing with the final framework with that passage of the bill. And many will say, indeed, it might really come very soon, especially with the push being made, not just by the presidency, but also the National Assembly in having it enacted into law. And Mr. President put pen to paper. But before he does all of that, we're still looking at the issues that surrounding it and what might likely be some of the issues that will definitely confront it. And Nigerians are already screaming to the high heavens on account of dealing with all of those issues that will definitely be. Anyway, but we still have him right here in the studio with us, and we're talking of no other person but Honorable Austin Uwuseba JP, helping us to dialogue on the issues that be. Before we went on the break, we talked extensively on not just the legal framework that needs to be amended. We're talking about the 1999 Constitution as amended, but also some of the fears being expressed by many Nigerians, especially even the presidential flag bearer of the NDC is saying that he feels that this should come after the elections and not before the elections, so it does not look as a tool in the hand of the ruling party to indeed sway the elections to themselves. But let's leave all of that fears and come to a main and a germane one. Whether we like it or not, if some of those problems that have bedeviled the federal police still exist, they are most likely to also cause more problems to the state police. And one of the biggest issues many said is confronting the federal police is the issue of corruption. So embedded. Now, but my question is, I want to also look at it holistically. And don't just look at corruption being faced by the Nigerian police force, but rather look at corruption being faced generally by Nigeria. In the recent amnesty, or rather corruption index from Transparency International, it puts Nigeria at 142 over 182, most corrupt nation in the world. If you take your mind back to how banditry started in 2011, it was the issue of deprivation, the issue of marginalization, the issue of poor and bad governance that brought this into being. So let's look at the issue of corruption. How can we deal with it, not just only as it concerns the Nigerian police force or the state police being created, but corruption in the larger context and how it has affected the smooth growth and implementation of some of not just only our agencies, but Nigerian life in general.
The conversation around corruption is not a new thing. It's been on, and we have state institutions that will kind of tackle the issues of corruption.
Yeah, anti-graft agency, the ICPC, the EFCC.
We have laws.
Or are they on board?
We have laws in place. So it is how effective we use these laws.
Okay.
That is the issue.
Okay.
And so corruption cut across every form, every part of Nigeria. So it's we Nigerians that will say, this thing is a plague that caused so much problems to us as a nation. That has not made our nation move forward. How do we tackle this? You see, the conversation around state police has been on and on and on. Now it is coming to light. If it is passed through the laws, constitution will be altered to accommodate
the creation of state
police. So it is we Nigerians, I want to say, we raise the bar, we break up this conversation. Corruption is a problem. Corruption is eating deep into our
very fabric.
It's destroying our nation. It's not making us move forward. A contractor is given a job to build a road or a school, and there is a bill. You did not follow the bill. You reduce the meters of your road or whatever. You do not use adequate rod that was also used in building. That's why you see some building collapse, because there are people who supervise these buildings, Mike. But when money exchange hands and the right thing is not done, it affects us as a people. A road that was supposed to last for 60 to 70 years does not even last for 2 years. We come back to that same road. Is it beneficial to us as a people? No. Are we benefiting from it? No. So what do we do? How do we solve this national plague? It's to come back to the drawing board, raise the conversation. Civil society are talking a lot about. So, but we Nigerians have to take it
upon
ourselves. Say, no, there must be change. There must be change to this thing that is plaguing us as a nation. It's not making us to move forward. Corruption is worse than kidnapping. Corruption is worse than banditry. Because what is meant for the people, somebody or a few persons hijack it, take it all to themselves. You ask some questions. Most people will steal money for children yet unborn. Mind you, the children they don't even need it. Why steal the money? Some will run abroad and they will bring your corpse back to Nigeria to bury. So your corpse is only fit for Nigeria. Nigeria good things are not fit for Nigerians. People travel abroad for hospital, medical, tourism.
We lost the president right there overseas in UK, a former president.
Fix our hospitals.
Yeah.
Corruption is one of the major factors. Mike, I've been to India. For medical tourism.
Okay.
But I took time to look at their system. These people, their population is higher than ours.
Yeah, that we know.
But Mike, these people, how do we fix our country? They sat down, bring up a think tank. Like India, they have underground rail. India have underground rail. I was asking myself a question. Why can't we Nigerians, as a people, do better? Even our rail lines are not working.
No.
You hear of breakdown,
derailing,
people stealing. Nigerians going to cut, irons from the tracks. Those are not patriotic Nigerians. Those are not people who want a better country. So it's not just about the government alone, or those are in government. We as Nigerians, what do we want? Do we want a better country? These are questions we need to ask ourselves. Look at South Africa driving other foreigners from their client. go back and face your place. So it is a time for us to ask questions, to raise the bar. Do we want a better country? Do we want good hospitals? Do we want good rail system? Let's ask questions. Let's participate. Let's get involved. It's not staying back, watching a few steal
Our collective.
funds and use it for themselves. Let us face our country. The great countries, if you look at Singapore, a man stood up and said, no, let's face our place. Singapore is being counted among great nations today. So, if I were a Tinubu, say, no, let me make a name. Let us tackle corruption. Headlong, from the top to the bottom. Things will start working, Mike. Poverty is another sickness.
But is it not a child of corruption? Is it not bettered? Because poverty and corruption are more like intertwined.
It's a creation. No, corruption is a creation. Corruption created poverty. That's why Nigeria is poor.
But the Nigerians will say even poverty is the reason they are corrupt, because they need to make ends meet.
No,
that's why I said they are intertwined.
It's the mentality. Look, Mike, you see, for example, you go to a shop to buy something and you are given change over. It is in your conscience that no, let me give back
the excess
to the owner of the shop. You understand what I'm saying? So if somebody says, mind you, Mike, I've seen policemen who don't take bribe. I'm telling you, I've seen police officers, Nigerian police officers. I've met with some officers who don't take bribe.
So it's just an individual thing.
An individual thing. I've told somebody, I think it was when I was in America in the airport, all Nigerians are not the same. There's some of us that are different. We're creating a new image for our country. All of us cannot be the same. So it's for us to come back to the drawing board. How do you bring up your children in your home? Do you understand? How we bring up our children in our homes. Today, we allow a lot of things fly, some excesses. We allow them to fly. And in turn, they come to hurt us. So it is we Nigerians that we come together and say, come, let us build a nation where we can live in peace, where our children will grow. What are the issues bedeviling us? Corruption is one key. If we can tackle corruption, to a large extent, we would have saved our country.
Now, talking about tackling corruption, you feel it's more like an awakening from Nigerians to understand that this is the biggest problem they have. And it's not just only a government thing, but also every Nigerian should learn to live upright and do the right thing. Now, but irrespective of whether we do so, there are some institutions that are saddled with the pure responsibility of ensuring that every Nigerian fall through. And two major institutions, which one we've already talked about is the Nigerian police, or which we now have in the state police, and the judiciary. Undermining, we have the legislative or legislation making those laws, but the implementation of this law is always falling on the hands of the judiciary. Now, in recent time, the judiciary seems to also be taking a hard knock with some of their judgments. They seem to be, how would Nigerians put it without sounding a bit modest? They seem to conflict themselves. Look at the recent judgment telling the Independent National Electoral Commission not to in any way work or play credence to the David Mark-led National Working Committee of the ADC. This is when we had a High Court saying what the other court did was it overturned it and said the NDC was in. So let's look at the judiciary. Let's bring the judiciary on board.
Talking about,
is the judiciary also compromised? Should we not have the judiciary living above board if, and I repeat, if there needs to be a change of narrative?
Judiciary must be independent.
You feel they are not independent?
They're not independent. They still carry plate to the executive. You understand? Judiciary must be independent. Must seem to be independent. Then reforms will come. You understand?
So when you feel they are under the tutelage of the federal government, we might get little or nothing from it.
No, that's why it's poor. If they are independent, from it is independent on paper, but it's not independent in practice. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Funds still come from the executive to them, but it should from the constitution. If we ensure that from the constitution, the judiciary is independent from revenue and
federal revenue and mobilization,
whatever. Funds are directly to the judiciary, not to an executive, then to give to the judiciary. No, from budgeting, funds are released. The way it's shared between the three tiers of government, the local government and whatever,
state and federal.
Let it go to the judiciary. Let funds go to the legislature. Directly. Mike, to some extent, this people will be fair. You understand? You want to, a judge wants a car, goes to the governor. It's already compromised. You see the federal minister saying that they build houses for judges. No. The judiciary should build their own houses. They know their needs. It's not any executive, it's not any minister that will say, I built houses for judges or judges' quarters. That is wrong. That is already compromising the system. But when funds are sent directly to the judiciary and they manage their affairs, Mike, to some extent, you have saved the judiciary. You have upheld that institution. But when these people go hand in and pick the executive, there's always room for compromise. Mike, a judiciary where a magistrate, after adjudicating on a matter, will enter keke with both defendant and accused.
There's every possibility of compromise.
Compromise. Mike, we have some courts in this our state, in this other state, across Nigeria, under shrine, in town halls. Some the roof are leaking. There's no conducive environment for these people to work, please. Are you talking about the police, where they stay? Their police station? Don't you go to police stations?
Yeah, barracks.
Barracks. Even the offices, they occupy. So, see, if you want a sane system, you must put the right things, right tools for these people to work. You don't expect a magistrate that will take keke trek to court to adjudicate properly. Salaries are not being paid. But Mike, do you know that police sew their own uniforms?
Has been alleged.
Not alleged, it's true, it's real.
Okay.
They buy, you see some police on CPAS on the highway. They're not properly equipped. Mike, let us take Enugu State, for example, in the recent time. The Enugu State governor has invested heavily on security. They have drones, they have cameras virtually, CCTV almost in every part of the state. So there's quick response to crime. And I think that's what, like the Delta State government, will set up one trust fund and all that. They should use the funds for such improved technology. Spend these funds to improve technology. Better pay your police officers. Better pay your judges. Pay doctors well. Lecturers, if you pay them well, they won't go on strike. My boy in the university, we suffered strike.
Yeah.
It kept us longer than usual in the university.
Made boys turn to men.
Made boys turn to men. All these were conversation, agitations for better working conditions, for improved working environment, for research. put, you see, today, the Silicon Valley in the United States. This is where government organized, sponsored, with in line with a private partnership. Let's bring our brains together. How do we better our place? When this, these brains come together, the people with headaches come together and say, man, this is our country. We don't have any other place to go to. Like, I'm not a fan of traveling abroad. I just go say, okay, for the purpose of vacation or whatever. Let it look as if you have not traveled. Or for exposure's sake. But I believe in Nigeria. I believe things can still work. So it behooves on us Nigerians to make things work. We don't expect a foreigner to come and build our country for us. So, starting from our laws, the judiciary should be funded, be totally independent, not just independent on paper. It should be independent in practice. It should not
be an appendage of
the executive. The legislature must be independent, totally independent. You hear a Senate president say, we are going to see our mama, the wife of the president. That is compromise already, Mike. A Senate president, the Senate, the National Assembly is an institution of oversighting the executive. Then that man, you hear him on national television say, we are going to see our mama. That man ought to resign by such comments. I said, I think in our last conversation, I said that National Assembly, that Senate, should be scrapped. That's usually the House of Representatives. The Senate should be scrapped. The likes of our public shouldn't be talking. Somebody that was also defend an institution, defend Nigerians, oversight the executive. We are not saying that we're going to see our mama to go and eat in Aso Rock. They are not totally independent, Mike. I give it to Senator Bukola Saraki. I think it was the 8th or
during the 8th
National Assembly.
Yes, 8th National Assembly.
Senator Bukola held the executive standstill.
But many would say it's also a problem why that regime was bedeviled with lack of performance. Because there was always a rancor between the executive and the legislature.
There must be rancor. Mike, it's not a paddy thing. This way, vote these people to office to speak for us. To speak for Nigeria. Because all Nigerians cannot just get up and start speaking. So, we let people go to the National Assembly, represent our interests. We don't have roads, speak for us. Our hospitals are not functioning, speak for us. We don't have lights, speak for us. That's why we voted you. So, when you are there, you forget about the primary purpose you have voted into office. You not compromise with the executive. How do we move forward?
Okay, well, I can say we'll be talking about this on and on.
Yeah.
And honestly, we've talked of close to more than an hour now, and that time is not a friend. But I feel there's a time for one final question.
Okay.
And the final question will drag us back to our initial discussion and the issue of the creation of state police.
Yeah.
Now, funding has always been a major factor, just like what you've said now, of having to be effective in each agencies of government. Lack of funding has always bedeviled most of these agencies, just like the federal police will say, or like what you said, being alleged that they even end up sewing their own uniforms and walking with almost sleepers or barefooted. But let's leave how they look, but come to funding. Now, funding will be a critical issue as it concerns the creation of state police. And many are already crying that with some states' inability to even pay the minimum wage of 70,000 naira, they wonder how they can effectively run a state police. Do you feel there should, because that's even what is being purported to be pushed by some governors, that there should be a sovereign fund kept aside that state governors can easily go and access to help them fund their state police. Do you feel in that regard, or you feel that states should be more creative in seeking for funds to run their own state police? Because like you said, if you now go to a sovereign fund run by the executive, there's every tendency of you being compromised and dance to the dictate of who is giving you funds, irrespective whether it's a sovereign fund or not. So what's your view as it concerns funding of the state police?
Funding has always been a challenge. But as respect to Mike, we're a poor country. What do we produce? What do we sell? So we're a poor country. You understand? So but let's just be able to manage the few resources we have. Mike, we are recruiting more pastors than engineers. We are recruiting more pastors than medical scientists. I was let me not mention the name of any particular congregation.
Yeah, please don't.
So you see 10,000 young men walking and praying. They are not creative. So after prayer, won't you eat? So we're not doing anything that will generate funds. That's why I'm trying to buttress the issue of a poor country. You go to Canada, you see young boys building plane that will carry 300 persons on air. Come to Nigeria. You see them, they are kabashing in the churches. So, how do we generate funds? What are we selling to the outside world?
Olive oil. Well, don't mind me. I'm just trying to see.
Mike, we import olive oil.
Okay.
The one we used to pray so.
Okay.
We import into Nigeria.
Well, don't mind me.
So, what I'm trying to say is that time has come that we must go into the drawing board. You understand? How, like, just recently, if you look at the NYC reform that they're trying to do,
yes,
you see, they're going to train, they are putting out platforms to train young Nigerians in the NYC. And lawyers will be trained. There's a platform for them. Those for ICT will be trained. Those for so we are trying to ensure that we build people that are productive, that in turn can think on how we can get more funds
rather than using funds.
So, however, coming to funding
of state police,
we have removed subsidy. A lot of money is being saved from that angle. If properly managed,
and more state governors are getting more funds.
Most state governors are getting better funds. So, from there, we fund our state police. All states are not the same and can never be the same. But time has come that we should look back inward. What can we do in our states to generate funds? We don't just sit down and wait for the federal government to share the monthly allocation. No. What are the businesses that can thrive in your climate? Let's encourage medium-scale businesses. Let's encourage young Nigerians to be productive. You see, when you go to Aba,
in Onitsha,
Aba and Onitsha, they produce slippers that they export. They produce shirts that they export. Again, Mike, let me tell you one funny thing. Because we have the foreign mentality. These young Igbo boys, when they produce these things in Aba and Onitsha, they take them abroad and bring them back. I'm telling you.
And tell us it's foreign made.
What's this country that fought with America at the time? Is it Taiwan or no? Not
Vietnam.
Mike, one of Vietnam, it is clothes, textiles, clothes that is one of their major source of income. People go to Vietnam and buy clothes. And the export is a huge form of
spinner.
a money spinner for them. So, why don't we capitalize on that?
Each state.
Each state.
See how they can create their funds.
See that creates funds. You understand what I'm saying? This Nollywood is a money spinning industry. Look at the amount of money Hollywood is bringing into the economy of United States. So, there are so many areas that we can harness and make fund. In Kogi State, this they have uranium and so many other things. Uranium can generate power.
Yeah.
Gas can generate power. So we don't rely on
just cap in hand going to the
federal government and wait for monthly allocation. It's not helping us to grow, Mike. So there are so many ways we can raise funds, but we must be productive. We must get out of the era of relying on allocations from the federal government.
Okay, well, anyways, I doubt if we have that time to wait for them to do so, because time is not
They must do it, Mike.
But anyway, time is not the friend on the show itself.
Yeah.
I feel we've been talking for close to an hour, which is required or longer time for us to do this on our show. And but I know we do have one time to say big thank you to you.
Thank you.
And I'm talking about no other person but our Honorable Austin Uwuseba JP, political scientist, and also a civil society organization and human activist, and helping to come to do this with us. I would truly appreciate your time. And just like what you said, we should not wait till after the elections for the state police to come into implementation. We should just go ahead, and afterwards we make correction to see if we can enact some
corrections. Is a continuity.
But anyway, it will be correct for me to say thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap for us on the show today, and we'll always insist that the show never ends here. Let's get your reactions, comments, and contributions. We would love you to send them to our different social media platforms. Funny enough, they're already there on your screen. Let's have your comments as it concerns the creation of state police. The fears being expressed by Nigerians. What can be done to indeed deal with those fears, and how can we move forward in actually pushing for not just only being creative, but actually reducing